How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the video. I want to welcome you to my new series I'm going to call Fit Food Friday, where I'm going to be releasing a new video going over a new menu item every single Friday. For today, what we're going to be going over and what we're going to be making is called a chicken cheddar broccoli crock pot soup. So try to say that 5 times fast. Now with this, it's got some very simple ingredients. The whole recipe is going to cover 7 meals. Now, what we're going to be using is about 7 cups of broccoli. You can either get fresh and steam it fresh, or I just like to get the frozen broccoli from the store, and then that just makes it a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. Next, for each meal, we're going to be only using 4 ounces of chicken. Now, you can adjust that based on your macro needs, but for me right now, 4 ounces is fine. So I've pre-weighed out, pre-cooked, and pre-cut and cleaned and everything, 28 ounces of chicken. That's this sitting right here. Now, the next thing, and one of my favorites, is bacon. So with this, we're doing about a pound of bacon for the entire recipe. Comes out to about 2 pieces per meal. So go through, cook that all up. I like to do it in the oven. Best way to do that is at 425 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And then once it comes out, you're gonna let it cool, drain off the excess bacon grease, kind of dab it with a paper towel if you want to get rid of a little bit more. And then you're gonna put it on a cutting board, dice it all up until it's nice and fine, just like bacon crumbles. Next, we're going to be using 2 to 3 teaspoons of black pepper. I prefer mine a little bit coarser ground, so it's not quite as fine, just because I like that extra crunch when you bite into a nice piece of black pepper. And then about 1 to 2 teaspoons of pink Himalayan sea salt. Okay, next, moving on, we have 7 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. Now with this, just pre-measured out all the ingredients, but just standard heavy whipping cream, about 1 tablespoon per meal that you're making. After that, we're gonna take 4 ounces of cream cheese. And finally, we're getting into the actual cheddar cheese. Now for me, I like to use sharp cheddar. You can use mild, medium, whatever you prefer, or whatever your preferred cheese is, but personally I like the taste and I like that extra bite of the sharp cheddar. And with this, we're using ½ a cup per meal, so 3½ cups of sharp cheddar total. Now on top of that, we're also gonna be using 1 tablespoon of chicken broth concentrate. Now you can either use regular chicken stock if you have that available, but for me, I just like to get this because it's a little cheaper. You can get it a lot easier. If you're using chicken stock, then you're gonna use 3 cups of chicken stock. But for us, we're gonna use the concentrate mixed with 3 cups of water. Now, once you've gone through and cooked up all your chicken, prepped everything, it's all ready to go straight into the crock pot, and we're just gonna throw it in, let it cook for about 4 hours, and then once it's finished, we can separate it out and serve. So let's go over the first thing that we're gonna do. Now, another thing is, if you want to, you can take your broccoli and chop it up a little bit finer, but for me, I like to kind of just make things a little easier. Take it straight out of the bag, throw it in a bowl, and then it's gonna go straight into our crock pot. Just like that. Next, we're gonna take our chicken. So again, 28 ounces of chicken. We've pre-cut it. All I did with this was I seasoned it with a little bit of Himalayan pink sea salt and a little bit of coarse ground black pepper. Nothing fancy, really simple. Lay that on a baking sheet, spray it down with a little bit of Pam, and then into the oven at 425 for about 20 minutes so that we just get it nice and pre-cooked just a little bit. And then we can take it out, throw it on a cutting board, cut it up nice and fine into nice bite-sized pieces, and then it's ready to go into the crock pot. There we go. And one thing I love about this recipe is it's super easy. You just throw it in the crock pot and forget it. I love crock pot recipes. Next, we've got our 7 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. There we go. Okay. Now, we're gonna add in salt and pepper. And the order you add all this in doesn't matter. I'm just saving the best for last. There goes that yin and yang. And salt and pepper you can add to taste. So if you prefer a little less salt, a little more, depending on whatever your dietary needs are. If you're cutting for competition, anything like that, you don't necessarily need to use as much salt, or if you're on a more salt restricted or sodium restricted diet, then just cut back on the sodium. Next, our cream cheese. So with the cream cheese, what I basically did was I took an 8-ounce brick and I just split it down the center. I'm just throw that right on top. Next, we've got our cheese. 3.5 cups of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Just lay that nice and evenly over the top, just like that. Next, bacon. Now again, with this bacon, what I did was I took it, laid it out on a baking sheet, cooked it for about 20 to 25 minutes at 425 degrees. After it came out of the oven, I let it cool. Then I drained off the excess bacon grease and just kind of lightly patted it down to get rid of that kind of extra bacon grease that was still hanging on there. Threw it on a cutting board and just chopped it up until it's nice, crunchy little bacon bits. So, I love bacon. Who doesn't love bacon? I'm gonna just throw that in there. There we go. Oh, not coming out. There, that's more like it. Okay. That all in there. Now, finally, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our chicken stock or our chicken broth concentrate and our water. So again, if you're using chicken stock, then you're gonna use 3 cups of chicken stock. Otherwise, if you use concentrate, then you're gonna use 1 tablespoon of concentrate mixed with 3 cups of water. So again, we're getting the same amount of liquid. So this is gonna actually come out pretty thick and chunky versus a lot of people, they make their soups like really watery. For me, I prefer my soup to be really chunky so that I get kind of more of a chowder feel rather than actually soup. So I guess you could almost call this a chicken broccoli cheddar chowder. Say that 10 times fast. So once that's in there, we're gonna just throw the lid on for right now. We're not even gonna mix it up or anything. Plug this guy in. Baby, come on, plug it in. And then what we're gonna do is if we come over here, we're gonna hit select, and we're gonna put it on high heat. And we wanna put it on high heat for about 4 hours. Can't see. I think I went way past 4. Yeah, let's go back down. There we go. So we're gonna let that sit, and at about an hour, hour and a half, we're gonna come back, mix it up. Then we're gonna come back again at about the 4-hour mark, mix it up again, and it should be all good to go. So we're gonna pull the power from then, let it cool before we start serving it into our meal prep containers. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you give this a try. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like the video, it definitely helps. Subscribe to see more videos just like this every week to help you hit your fitness and macronutrient goals. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.